What is going on YouTube and Weight Loss Warriors? It's your boy C-Dub and I'm back with another video. And today we're going to talk about a new study that says intermittent fasting doesn't burn any more calories than any other diet. But what does it do? I got your back right after this. What is going on? If you're new to my channel, my name is C-Dub and I lost 125 pounds eating one meal a day. And if you're a returning subscriber to my channel, I appreciate your support. Thank you for coming back. And today has an exciting topic because there's a new study that was published July 24th, 2019 that talks about intermittent fasting and whether or not it burns more calories, but it goes into so much more than that. And it's an interesting topic because we hear all the time about all these amazing things that it does and that there isn't enough science behind it. And so this study kind of backs us up, and I wanted to bring it to you today. So what was this study? It was done at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. And this study basically took 11 obese people, and I know right off the bat that we have to take into consideration that only 11 obese people were tested in this study, that it was not across a large scale, but the results still speak for themselves. And they took them and they took some of the group and they put them in a controlled situation where they were eating 3 or more times a day, and they took another group and they made them eat in a 6-hour eating window. And so with these two groups of people, they put them in situations that were the same food intake. So in other words, I'm going to eat as much as you eat, and we're going to just do it at different times because they were trying to see if the timing part of it matters at all. So at the end of the day, they put these people in the two different groups with the same kind of markers, pre-diabetic and diabetes on both sides, and they basically fed them the same food but made the group eat it at different times. So what were the results of this study? Well, at the end of the day, they tested their calorie burning, and there was zero difference between group A and group B. They had the same amount of calories that they burned throughout the course of the day, which generally you would say makes a lot of sense, right? So you're burning your energy. It's not going to change based on when you eat food, but what did change? Were there any changes? And that's where things, to me, get super interesting. Because one thing the study found was that the ghrelin levels had changed in the two groups, and that the ghrelin level was much better and normal in the group that fasted longer. So we're talking about short term here. They fasted for less than a week also. So you're talking about in less than a week, the group that was fasting for 18 hours a day started to have their ghrelin go back to normal levels. And they also fixed their, it's called and hopefully I get the pronunciation of this right, but it's called a peptide YY. And peptide YY is one of the hormones that controls hunger, and their peptide YY was better. So ultimately, when they asked these people how they felt through the day, giving them the standard amount of food that they would need to maintain their calories, the group that was not fasting reported to be more hungry, and they reported to feel less energy because they're only eating at maintenance when they were obese and probably didn't normally eat at that level. Where the group that was fasting for 8 hours actually said that they were satiated and they felt much better during the whole entire ordeal. So I think that these are very interesting things to talk about. But it doesn't just end there. The fasting group had a better metabolic flexibility rate than the other group, which is pretty interesting as well. But the part that I found to be the coolest part, and the part that I have been preaching kind of since day one from my channel, is the group of people that were fasting all of a sudden were able to switch between burning fat for fuel and burning sugar for fuel, which also was a surprise to the researchers. They were able to move back and forth between the two much more efficient than the other group. And this is the part of the study that for me says, you know, if there's no other reason to practice time restricted eating or intermittent fasting or OMAD or warrior or whatever you want to do, The reason you want to do it is not only to learn how to control your hunger, but to move back and forth between burning sugar and burning fat, because both of those sources of energy can be used in a positive way if you are willing to train your body enough to do it. And these people were able to see better results moving between the two of them in less than a week. The researchers that did this study also said that this may show that meal timing could be the key to maintaining a healthy weight and a healthier lifestyle. If you think about the overall point, that's what we're all trying to get to, is a healthier weight and a healthier lifestyle. So at the end of the day, this study was packed full of good information that tells you that not only does intermittent fasting work, but intermittent fasting is the answer to saving our country in a crisis of obesity and in a crisis that we are facing so strongly today. We don't want to talk about it enough, but we are currently growing bigger and bigger as a society, and that right now it is going to a point where there's just going to be, I think that the odds were, I can't even know, they're astronomically bad for obesity in the next 20 years and for the amount of money that it's going to cost our country. And the answer is to just simply not eat as often. And if you take breaks from eating periodically, your health is going to improve. And so you can do that in any way you want. If I could come through the camera and say anything to you today that sticks with you, is that if you're not going to do OMAD, find a fasting protocol, whether it be alternative day fasting, whether it be 16 and 8, whether it be 20 and 4, whether or not you want to combine all of these different fasting protocols to create something that you want to do. You need periods of time where you're fasting and periods of time when you're not. And this study is yet another piece of the puzzle to show you that these things are better for you when you take breaks from food. All right, guys, I hope you found it as interesting as I do. As you know, it is linked down below. So if you need any questions on that, just click on the study and check it out yourself. And if you have not done so already, my face is popping up right over here. Go ahead and subscribe to it. I appreciate all you. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.